Welcome back to You, Me, and the RV. I'm Phil.
And I'm Stacy. And today we have a real treat for you. We're going to have a special guest come in and do a little talk.
It's going to be a good talk too. It's something that a lot of people can find useful.
So if you're in the market for a new RV and you're starting your search, this is a must-see for you. So stay tuned. Excited today. We have our first guest star. This is Al Pearce, and he is the famous inspector who inspected our RV before we purchased it, and we are so glad we got an inspection. It really eased our mind to know that we're getting a good product. So I thought you guys would like to know what an RV inspector is all about and what it's like to get, you know, if somebody's certified or not certified, who to look for. So why don't we jump in and ask Al some questions and get his thoughts, since he's the professional here, not me for sure. All right, so first, the company that you're associated with.
Well, I'm a national certified inspector. We own our own business, so we're independent business folks, but we follow the guidelines, the ethics. We got our training, my certification. We have to do continuing ed certification every year to maintain our membership. So yes, I'm a trained, certified National RV Inspectors Association member.
Awesome. And how long have you been certified?
November 2 years ago, so not quite 2 years.
All right, perfect. So there is a difference between just calling somebody up in the phone book and having someone who's certified, you know, they've taken a test, and you know that somebody's monitoring to make sure they know what they're doing. They're not just some, you know, Joe Blow set up shop somewhere. So this guy's got his credentials.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks out there in any industry like that where, you know, you don't know the credibility. You should look for testimonials. We have them all over our website, and a lot of fellow inspectors around the country have got testimonials like yourselves from customers that had a good experience. That's important, no matter if you're hiring a plumber or you're hiring an RV inspector.
Yes, true. Yeah, and we had a great experience. That's why we're here today. All right, so tell us a bit about what you had to do to get certified through them.
Well, I took the class not to be an inspector, believe it or not. I took the class to learn how to work on our own RV. Got tired of taking it to the dealer, I'm keeping it forever. And then about halfway through the class, they said, if you want to travel, you don't need to, but if you want to, you're able to, and to do inspections of other people's RVs. And Laura and I looked at each other and go, well, let's do this. So within 2 months, I took both certification classes, and we hit the road in January of last year, 2017, as a level 2 inspector.
All right, and in case you didn't know, he's referring to his other half, who also joins him during the inspection. So they are a team. They work together on this. All right, so next, my question for you is, why should I have my RV inspected?
Well, you know, it's interesting you ask that, Stacy, because I tell people there are some basic things we find an issue with almost every RV, no matter if it's a 1977 model, and we've done over 5 or 6 2018 models this year. There are some things that just always seem not to work.
Right.
But it's usually the problem with buyers, and there's many newbies coming in the market, is they just don't know what they don't know.
Right.
I mean, they've maybe never owned an RV before. They don't even know how to hook up the water hose so they can get a drink of water. And I even encourage experienced RVers. Sometimes as we get older, we get comfortable and we forget some of the things because we're so used to our own RV. We know exactly where every button is.
Right.
We know exactly how to do this. And then we get this newer to us or brand new RV, and oh my God, they don't know where anything's at. And they don't know if it works or not. But they were so confident in their ability.
Right.
It's, we don't need an inspection. No, you do, because 2018s are coming off the lot so fast that we've had, I said, 5 or 6 we've done this year, and we found issues with every one of them. A couple of them severe.
Right. So I know you're an independent contractor, so
Correct.
Prices, across the board are going to be a little different. But what is your average cost to get inspected?
It does vary, Stacy, by type of RV. If you can imagine a Class A diesel pusher, it has more components, more systems to check, more things to check than a 24-foot travel trailer or a pop-up.
Okay.
So yeah, the prices range anywhere from in the 200s up to 1,000. Just depends on the RV. And then of course, we spend 8 to 10 hours doing an inspection on RV, and if we spend another 4 to 5 hours round trip driving, we almost have to get a room. So we try to be flexible, we try to be accommodating, but yeah, sometimes we have to charge for travel too.
Okay. So you talked about how long it takes. You just did that, and when they look at the inspection report, because in case you guys don't know, you're going to get pages and pages of a report, of course, depending on how many systems you have in your RV. So it's very thorough. So tell us a little bit about what they can expect to see on the report. Some of the things that you covered during your inspection.
Well, we use a third-party software, and it was actually developed by a home inspection company, and they made a RV component of that. So we go through, we have to check every box, we have to answer every question. So it's really kind of difficult to miss something. It all depends too. Sometimes, like you guys had seen your motorhome before we inspected it, so it wasn't so important for us to show you the colors of the sofa and the colors of any blinds or anything. You'd already seen it, but 80% of our customers are out of state. We've had 4 out of the country in foreign countries hire us to inspect an RV in America. So we do a little more picture taking on those because they've never seen the RV until they pick it up if the deal goes through. But either way, we're gonna reveal everything we see. We're gonna take pictures. We're gonna draw arrows, make recommendations. Sometimes we find things wrong that, well, it's really not wrong, but it's been used, and maybe you have to just keep an eye on that.
Right.
And I also ask people too when they hire us, is this going to be a full-time living RV? Are you just going to use it? So it kind of gives us an idea how to help them learn and how to use that RV, and then that will tell me as well if they're using an RV full-time, then maybe that component that's halfway used is of course going to have a shorter lifespan. So we'll recommend, hey, you should replace that maybe in a few years possibly.
Right. That makes total sense. So you kind of touched on it a second ago about out-of-state inspection. So that just shows you don't have to be present when they inspect your RV. We weren't present for our inspection.
No, you weren't.
And I think it brings a lot of peace of mind, especially if you are out of state. So you can actually cut out a step if you find one that you think you want and you go have it inspected. You know, that's going to save the trip of you actually going out there and checking it out yourself if you know it's something that you don't want after all.
Oh, perfect example. Last summer we had some folks hire us to inspect an RV. And after talking with them, first-time buyers, they lived in San Diego, they flew halfway across the country to Houston to look at an RV they found online, only to find out the RV condition wasn't as good as the pictures showed them online. And when she called me, she said, we both work, I'm pregnant, I can't take off work and fly around the country. So they hired us to be their eyes and ears, and they were comfortable with that. We inspected the RV, we gave them the report, and they purchased the report. So now they only had a ticket one way, they bought the RV, and they were able to drive it back to California and not have to take all that expense time, time off work to go look. So yeah, I tell folks the same thing. Find the model you like, find the brand you like, based on your research, and yeah, don't limit your search to right down the street. Sometimes a deal 5 states away could save you thousands of dollars. If it's the same model, same make, same year, same features, same benefits, you could save thousands of dollars. Drive a few states over to pick it up.
Right. And when it comes to RV inspection, some of the things that are one of the main things I think about is I had an inspection every time I bought a house. So if I'm spending this huge amount of money for something that was actually going to be our house because we're full time, why wouldn't I have it inspected, especially since, you know, we're newbies and we had no idea what we were doing. So we obviously needed someone to help us out. So I definitely would not want to make this investment without an inspection. So
hey, a lot of folks, they buy an RV that was more expensive than the home they lived in. Or maybe it was an apartment they lived in. And now they're going to go on their own and have their own home on wheels. And they just are willing to put down $100,000 on an RV, whether it's a motorhome or a fifth wheel. And that's the biggest expenditure they've ever had in their life. So yeah.
Right. It's pretty scary.
It can be. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to turn this over to Phil now, and he's going to talk a little bit about our experience when we had our inspection, because we really feel like this is beneficial for anyone buying an RV, no matter what your price point may be. So I'm going to hand it over to Phil.
When I was looking for an inspector, I went to the NRVIA website and just kind of did a search for an inspector, and I was lucky enough to find Al. Al was in San Antonio, however, Al's not from San Antonio. So how would one go about finding an inspector to get their RV inspected?
Well, you're right, Phil. We were actually living in Georgia at the time, and one advantage of being a NRVIA certified inspector, our association allows us to have a locator button. So when a customer or a buyer wants to hire an inspector, they put their city and state in there, and they can do a radius search. And I think that's how you found
That's
me,
exactly
was
right.
because we were in the San Antonio area doing some hurricane relief help from after Harvey hit, and we popped up close by. And I will say there's inspectors all over the country. A lot of them are full-time RVers. Some live in the north, and they of course snowbird in the winter in the south. So I tell people, just because you didn't find them today when you searched, try again tomorrow. Prime
Right.
example is we're on the road currently on a 12-week trip, and every couple days I push my location out a ways. So, but if someone was to search today from Memphis, Tennessee, if I won't change it till tomorrow. I wouldn't show up today.
That's
So
right.
don't give up if you don't find somebody. But there's going to be situations where sometimes there's just nobody available.
Great point. Great
yeah.
point. And when I was searching, I didn't know what to expect. I called Al on the phone, and we struck up. It was a good rapport on the. And when you were finished with that inspection, Al, you sent us about a 20-page report. And in that report, there was one thing that stood out that you brought to the attention of the dealer that we were going through, and you mentioned it to them. No expectation of them to fix it. But based on what Al told them, they went and fixed it before we even came up there and mentioned it to them.
Oh, great. I did not know that.
Yeah.
We're required to, by our training and certification, to do life safety items, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. So when I saw that water draining from the back AC unit on top of the exhaust pipe, a bell went off and said, it's starting to rust. Depending on how much you guys were going to use that RV, eventually there's going to be a hole in that exhaust pipe. So you pull into a rest area, you pull into maybe a restaurant, you leave the RV running because it's hot, and instead of the exhaust going out the pipe, it's going inside your RV. To me, that was a life safety, and I could not get off the property without telling someone, because even if you and Stacy did not buy that RV, I didn't want someone else to have that, because I'm glad they got it fixed before you guys took off.
I looked at the same thing, and I would not have seen what you saw.
Right.
I'm not a certified inspector, so to me, I would have been, oh, that's rusted. I would have just chalked it up as age of the vehicle,
Right.
or natural condition. So just another safety aspect to getting your RV inspected.
We want to say thanks again to Al for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
They stopped by on their journey,
Correct.
and gave us some of their time, and we so appreciate it.
We got lucky again that we were looking at doing a piece on having your RV inspected. We reached out to Al, and just so happens, again, he was in our area.
Right
So we
place,
got
right
lucky
time.
twice.
Yep.
I think later today I'll go buy a lotto ticket.
I think I will too. Yep, for sure. No, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. Our goal is our NRVIA inspectors is to get the word out. Our industry is new. It's its fifth year. There's a lot of people just don't know we're out there, and anything I can do, I know a lot of fellow inspectors the same way. We're on social media, whatever we can do to help folks, because we want to save one RVer at a time. We want every RVer to enjoy the lifestyle that you guys enjoy, that we enjoy, and not to have all those problems. Does it mean something's going to happen? Sure, it's an RV. It's something's supposed to go wrong.
Right.
But we want them to get off to a great start. We want all the safety items to be repaired, or at least acknowledged, so that there isn't a chance of an injury or other things. So yeah, that's our goal, one at a time, and we're just trying to spread the word. So thanks again.
And Stacey and I can tell you firsthand that was money well spent.
Yes, every penny. It was totally worth it. And the goal is not to find, an RV that, like you said, is never going to have a problem. The goal is to know what you're getting into when you purchase the RV.
Exactly.
If you're okay with fixing it yourself and you know what to expect, that is great. But that is the point of the inspection.
Oh yeah, I tell folks all the time, I ask them what their pain level is. I said, do you know which end, and I joke with them, do you know which end of a screwdriver to use? And they say, well, no, I really don't use it. I've never used a screwdriver. So, okay, then we have to worry about the little things with this, folks.
Yeah,
but,
and that was us, totally.
And people, because I've had a few buyers ask me, should I buy the RV? And I can't make that recommendation.
Right.
But I want to know, their pain level. And I tell them, don't let a broken handle on a door or something break the deal. That's a simple fix.
Right.
What I don't want you to do is take possession of an RV that's got a propane leak possibly, or has an air conditioner that's ready to go, because those are going to cost you thousands of dollars to repair, and that's what we don't want to see happen, because it ruins the experience for new folks. They say they get into it, and 6 months later they're ready to sell because they have so many issues. So we know we're doing a good job. We like what we do, Laura and I, as we get to travel and meet new folks, and we've helped young families that had kids that were going full-time, and we've inspected RVs for seniors that they had to sell because of health issues, and everywhere in between, like you guys.
Yeah.
So.
All right, thanks again.
Yep,
thank
thank
you
you.
for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Give us a thumbs up.
And let us know if you've had your RV inspected, what kind of experiences you've had, and by all means, share this with anyone you know who might be interested in buying
Definitely.
an RV, so that way they know it's out there. Not everybody even knows that these inspectors are available to them.
It is a great peace of mind going into this purchase.
Yes, yes.
Great. Glad we could help.
Yes. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road. That's right. That's right.
I know. I told her. I said I've got the perfect voice for radio.
Yeah, right.
And we'll see you in the
On
next
the road.
video. Oh, dang it!
Got to do it again.
I have 2 pages. I keep screwing that
It's
up.
supposed to be see you on
I
the
have
road.
a nurse page. Okay.
So do that one again.
Dang it! You can take a picture.
I'm just taking a picture.
All right, we want to wait for the truck to go by. See, we should have that. We could just pull that right up on the bag.
Yeah, we'll put it in there.
Uh-huh.
All right, so.
Me.
I know, but I was gonna ignore it. It was gonna go away. All right, smile and be happy.
Oh, see, here's smile. Smile.